computer. There we go. Let's make sure it's recording. Yep. All right. So I'm going to show you literally right now by going in. Let's say you purchased some hosting package. Doesn't matter who it is, as long as they can host WordPress. Now, not everybody is an equal host. Some don't know really how to deal with WordPress 100% because WordPress is a data-driven system, meaning that the pages that you see don't really exist. Okay, they literally don't exist. They're being built from PHP commands being pulled out of a database. So let's say when you build that page and you save it, it just saves code. So when you change pages, it's just building the page on the fly in front of your eyes. So that's why WordPress takes a lot of bandwidth, because it's doing a lot of actual programming and coding instead of just having a static HTML page. Now we get away with having a static HTML page by adding a cache application. I'll show you that, where it makes a copy of your page in HTML, and it'll update itself every hour or so, or every time you may make a page change. That speeds up your site. So it makes the dynamic into a flat HTML page that makes it fast. Okay, does that make sense to you? Okay, all right.
Excuse me.
All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to show you, because I'm working on a client's website now. All right, so I'm going to log into one of mine. All right, and we're going to start right away. And I'm going to go to that client, which is this client. Log in as a reseller. Let me kill this part of the window. And the first thing you do, my cPanel is way different than most people's cPanel. It's much better. It's been around before a lot of the cPanels. So for me, this is everything over the sun. I can look at hosted domains and certificates and all this kind of stuff. I just go to what area I need to go. I'm going to go right now to the installer of applications. Okay, and I'm going to pick WordPress. And that's the domain. And I'm going to take it. Normally, if you install it, some people install it into a directory. The reason why they do that, because a lot of people use WordPress as a blog only, which is dumb. Although when it first started, it was a blog and then it became a site. Now it's better site than it is a blog, if you know what I'm saying. So I will take it out of this extra directory so that the root of that domain is the site. Does that make sense? Instead of it going to that and then some folder and become the website, this will go directly to that domain. Okay. And I'm going to change this eventually, so you guys can't see it, but for right now, I'm going to make it something. And I'm going to make it their email that does not exist yet. And this is what you do. Now, let me tell you about this also. When you install WordPress for the first time, there is an admin email. That email should match your domain. If it's like, you know, Yahoo or AOL, what those kind of things, your website is not guaranteed to send you email from the site, you know, like from the feedback forms and things like that. It might not work because it looks like it's a hack. It looks like somebody's from one domain is trying to send stuff out to another domain. That's actually a security breach. So you really want to have a domain that's based off your domain. I mean, an email is based off your domain. Okay. So this is going to be Laurie and Trotter. These are my good friends in Texas. And I forget what the thing's going to be called. So I'm just going to leave it as site title. And I'll change it that way. The database that data is going to be pulled in is always WP. But to fool the hackers, I will use pieces of the website domain, so that, because they're going to be looking for that WP always. And I'm going to modify that so the hackers can't find it. Okay. And we'll make the automatic database create and so make sure we got everything. Looks good. And then we'll just say install. All right. And in a few seconds, WordPress will be installed on that server. Now, all the stuff is in real time that we're doing. Let me sit back and relax for a minute. There we go. So that's installed. All right, gives me all my good information. And let's just wait for a minute. Even though it's crashed right there, it's still really building itself. So you need to wait for a bit. Go to its base. See that? Now it's up and running. So now notice how it looks like crap, right? It's just crap. And normally the first time you get a WordPress site, you'll go, what the hell? Where? I mean, it's like, doesn't look like a website at all. So the first thing we want to do is log into it. So notice there's the domain and there's the base system. We're going to go /wp-admin. And that takes us to the back end. Okay. And remember, I saved this. And I think I'm going to, I think it's, I think it used like 9 letters of the domain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see, is it that many? Let me see. It is that right there, actually. That's what it was. All right, where is it at? I can't get to my, there we go. There we go, right there. All right, and I'm gonna log into it. If it all works, email is correct. Save that. Now, and notice when you get stuff like this, it's a brand new install. So the database is, I mean, the system's actually still installing per se. So ignore that. We'll keep going for a minute. Let's see how it's back. Because it's still installing. I'm doing this stuff really fast. I normally do this and I go away. They come back about an hour later and I start working on it. So right now I've logged into the system, right? And this system, when you log in, brings you to what's called a dashboard. So what we're looking at is the dashboard of WordPress, okay? If we want to see the front end, and this is how I do it, I hover over here, you see where it's a visit site. I'll right mouse click that and put it in another window so I have 2 versions of the site open. So I can flip and look at the front end and go back and look at the back end. So I can do my work on the back end and then flip and look at the front end. All right, you have a question, Julie or Julia? Your mic's off.
Yeah, because this was when I tried to create it on Bluehost, it was it didn't really take me to it was I did like the website builder.
Oh no, that's not WordPress.
It's not WordPress.
No,
Okay.
website builder is its own thing. And I'm gonna tell you, stay away from builders.
Oh, well, why is that?
They're not universal. So you can't move it or move to a different host or whatever. If you build that website on that builder, if you ever want to leave Bluehost, you can't because it's their own thing. You see what I mean? In this case, it's WordPress. WordPress is WordPress. Go on any host. So you can just download it and move on to the next one. Okay.
Are you familiar with Bluehost?
Yep. Yep. I've used them all.
Okay. So can you like connect WordPress from Bluehost?
Sure. If you go to your cPanel, there's an area, there's an auto installer, and you can install WordPress right from inside the back end of Bluehost.
Okay, I'll have to. Okay,
it'll do it. It won't look quite as easy as mine.
Right.
It'll say it'll go cPanel and it'll be some auto installer and it'll look like let me show you that right quick. It'll look literally like this. It'll look like TMD uses the same engine as they do. So it will, I'll go into one of my own systems. It'll look like, let's see here, my services. Let me go into Business in the Black. That's my web development company, is Business in the Black. We keep your internet business out of the red. Blah, blah. So, you know, that kind of thing. So this is what you're going to see. I'm going to log into the cPanel. Everybody's familiar with the cPanel if they, you know, have hosts. That's what you're going to see. Okay, that's a regular cPanel. Okay.
I don't see that on my end, unfortunately.
You don't see it? Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen, but I'm saying I used what she used. I used Bluehost to make a WordPress,
Did
and
you really?
I don't have the cPanel.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
and normally you go to cPanel and it'll be a thing called, where is it at here? Because they used to, I haven't used them for a minute.
Hmm.
They will use, it's this software that they have as an installer, because a big license for across the net. It'll look like this thing. It's
Mhm.
called soft something.
Softaculous.
There you go. Yeah. So
There you
then you pick WordPress and you hit install now, and then you have to pick once it does it. Let me see. Then you got to pick the same stuff I just went over. Notice you pick the version, you pick where you want to put it. It's the same information. It just doesn't look as cute, you know. And then that'll do the same thing as I just did earlier. But let me kill that. And they might have a different front end, so you might have to ask them to do that for
Right.
you. And they will. All right, so let me go back here. So that's I just hit the wrong button. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? Okay, what did I do here? Did I stop the sharing or something?
I think you stopped sharing.
Okay, here we go. There we go. See, that's what I hate. See, they changed it. See, this thing's in my way up here, the menu. So I can barely hit the top of my screen without hitting the stupid thing. Anyway, let me try to nick it. There we go. So that's the dashboard. And remember, again, that's the front of the site. Okay. So before we go any further, let's assume you've installed WordPress. So let's look at the anatomy of WordPress. Okay. When you're logged in as an administrator, you're going to see this black bar that shows up. Okay. Notice it shows you like things like links to WordPress. That's some shortcut links to go to the back of the dashboard, like where your dashboard is, themes, widgets, and menus. Then you can customize the theme that we're looking at. And this is a little message box. It shows you like if you have comments or anything. If there's a number in there, that means you have a comment waiting for approval. And this plus sign, you need to think of it like adding content. Whatever you have in your site, you get that plus and add that kind of content. So in this case, we can go add new posts, add new media, add new page, or add new user. As we add more functions and features, that add new will change. Let's say you add an e-commerce package, like WooCommerce, which is the #1, and that's what I use on my systems. It'll say add product. Let's say you add a calendar system. It'll say add event. You understand how it works? As you add more functions, it gives you more things to add that works with those functions. All right, so let's slide over here. This right here would be yourself per se. That's like your little profile, and everybody's on your website. If they register and log into your website, they'll get the same thing. They just won't get the stuff that goes to the back end that administrates the site. They'll have their own little user panel, allows them to change some colors and stuff like that, little things. Unless you make it so it's a social site, and then they'll have more things that they can modify, like their profile, their history, and maybe their work and job, all that kind of stuff, whatever you add to the system. Then there's also a little question mark over here. The question mark is to search the database, to search the website. Unlike other kind of websites, WordPress is a full entrant database structure. So when you do a search, it'll search on everything in the site: pages, posts, your products, events, calendars, anything you search will search everything of that website. Okay. It's a really good feature, actually. And also, that's all you see there, but the other areas of the website is the body of the site. So see where it says hello world? That's the body of the page we're looking at. You'll see the title and my site. This is the title, and this is the tagline. Okay, and I'll show you where to change those on every kind of site. It works on every theme if they allow these things to show up on the theme itself, because WordPress is a theme-based structure. So the back end is just a content management system, that's wrapped with a theme. The theme is what changes the site to look like whatever it's going to look like. Okay, so it becomes, you get it as a moldable piece of clay until you put a theme on it. All right, and I'll show you how that works. Under here is more stuff. These are called footers. And in this theme, it doesn't have it, but on the sides, they are called side panels. So there's areas where you can put data, you know, in the body, on the right side panel, left side panel, and footers, header. And header would be above all this. Okay. So I'm gonna go and show you where that stuff is by adding a theme that sort of shows those things. Okay. So first off, we're gonna do is gonna go to the dashboard, and I'm gonna just flick this little thing here. Why can I move this whole thing out of my way? I might close the whole thing. Never mind. Let me do that. All right. So the first thing we're going to do before we set up anything, I'm going to go here and go to appearances and go to themes. Okay. Now WordPress comes with 15,000 themes, or maybe 1,500, might be exaggerating, that are free. But then there's a million websites with WordPress themes that are professional themes, and sometimes you might want to buy a theme because it has everything already built into it that you don't have to create yourself. They put all the plugins in, they make all the features and whatever. Let's say you wanted to make something like an online store. Well, you can just buy an online store theme and it has everything built. You just install it, do the demo content, and by golly, it looks like a professional theme website off the showroom floor. And all you gotta do is go in and change the products, change the names to protect the innocent, you know, that kind of thing. And then you're off and running. All right. So I'm going to install this little cheapy little theme right here. This is, what is this, 2019. And you notice they come with the system. But before I do that, let's say we wanted to hunt for new themes. We just say add theme. And notice all these themes start popping up. See all that? And I can do even more. I can filter the system. I can say, okay, I want a theme that has a nice blog system. It has e-commerce. It has some custom colors. It has a custom header. You know, you put all the stuff on. It has a grid layout. It has a couple of different columns, blah, blah, blah. And then I can say search, right? I mean, wait a minute. Where's the button for apply filter? Then it'll find themes that follow those rules. Okay. They're all free, but you know, they're free because once you get in it, they're going to say for the pro version, you know, here's, you know, so much money, right? That nice feature that you really like for $59.95, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, so let's go back and we're just going to pick the standard themes. I'm just going to go back to themes. Okay, I'm going to pick the standard theme. Let's just say activate it. And let me tell you something. Here's a trick. Let's say you already have a theme in the system, but you want to look at that new theme without taking that theme. If you just activate it, you can do a live preview. And it'll show you what the system will look like using that theme without changing your website. You see that? We didn't do anything, but look at all that stuff that's on that site. Notice what it looked like before, right?
Right. Yeah.
All right. So let's say we say, you know what? I like this theme. I'm going to go ahead and activate that one. So now that we activated and published it, now that's the site that we will see when we go to our website. We can tell that by doing this. Remember that front page that we're looking at? Let me refresh it and see, that's our new website. That's simple. Okay. And it looks like something. Has an about, has a blog, you know, has a contact. So it looks like something already, right? So let's go to the back end and let's show you how to make this stuff work. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and close this part right here, and that'll bring us back to the dashboard. Okay. So we're still in the back dashboard, and notice it's showing that that's the theme that's active in themes. And we can hit this customize if we want to. And that's what you normally will do, but we're not going to go there yet. We've selected our theme, but now let's look at the system and its structure because we want the website to work a certain way. Those are two ways for a website to work. That used to be a blog. You can have it so when people come to your website, that it shows your blogs first and your static web pages secondly. Okay. Or you can make it so when people come to your domain, it shows the home page, which is a static page, and shows your blogs as a link secondly. All right. So you got blog first, static page second, or static page first, blog second, depending upon what you want your website to be focused on. In your case, Julia, you said you wanted to make a blog, right? Is that what you said? No, then I must be wrong. I can't hear you, but I'm taking the shaking head as I'm saying no, and you're saying no, right? All right, so let's say you wanted a blog. All right, so here's what you do. Over under settings, I'm gonna jump around because this is how it actually works in your head. Instead of going down the line, I need to take you on how it works mentally, okay? First off, we want to make the site that work a certain way. So we want to go down to settings, and under the way people read your website, where it says reading, this is where everybody gets screwed up the first time. How do people want your homepage displayed? Is it your latest blog posts or your latest posts, which are blogs, blog posts, or a static page like a homepage? We're going to make it a static page.
Homepage.
All right, we're going to set it to sample because we're going to change that name of that one. All right, and we're going to say our blog posts are hooked to this page called blog. All right, we could have very well said, no, we want the post to show first, but guess what? Now you can't control the pages. Now it's whatever's in the menu, but the blogs come up first. Well, that's like sort of wacky if you wanted to be like a business page that has a homepage to it. So we're going to go static page. The sample page is going to be our homepage. A page called blogs is going to be where we're going to hold our blog posts. We're going to show 10 posts at a time, and we're going to allow 10 of them to be syndicated at a time. This means that people can hit the little feed button on your website and actually pull your blogs over to their blogs. And that's a really good way for your SEO. The more you blog, the more your website goes. Matter of fact, SEO, number one thing in SEO on a WordPress site is you post posts. Google sees that as movement, and they come and check your website. If you don't change your website or add posts, it's just like having a hot air balloon that you never heated up, and it just keeps falling down and falling down. The more you post, the more heat it puts, and make sure website go to the top of the search. Okay, remember that.
Yes.
All right, so that is your blogs, your posts, and how people see them. They're going to see them in full text, or they're going to see a summary. Well, we want to do a summary. We want to show the summary of our posts, and then they have to click on it to show more. Okay. Right now, because we're building, we're going to discourage search engines from looking at our content because it's not real. We need to remember to come back and turn that back on, because this is what pings the search engines whenever you change. So we're going to turn that off right now and make our site invisible to Google. Okay. Because the moment you install WordPress, it is instantly picked up by Google. So we want to slow that down. All right, let's go ahead and save the changes. All right, and there's always a little blue save. If they don't change, that's always a save. All right, now we're going to go back. Remember, I have the pages in 2 windows. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this now. And notice now, when I go to the URL itself, sample page comes up. I made that my home page now. Notice when I hit home, it stays on sample page. When I hit about, that's about page. When I hit blogs, that's going to show any blogs that I've added to the system in a row, just right after another. Okay. Now we have a structured website where we can go to places on the site. All right, let's go back to the dashboard again. All right, now that we've made it so people come to the site as a static site, let's go ahead and fix some other things while we're in here. We're going to go to general. Inside general is where we set up some basic things. The site name, for instance. I don't know what the site name is going to be, okay, because they haven't given me that content yet. And so I'm just going to make up something. You saw it earlier right here. This thing keeps getting in my way. It's pissing me off. Move. Oh, there we go. All right. Notice right here it says site title and my site, right? No, God darn it. I think it got in my way again. You're going to wait for it to slide back up. Okay, there we go. See that? Site title, and there's a tagline. So let's change this and name it to Lori Trotter, even though I know that's not going to be their name of the site, because her name is Lori and his last name is Trotter, right? All right, so, and we're going to say, this is my tagline, okay? Now notice, WordPress address URL. Don't mess with these unless you know what you're doing, because you can instantly make your website go to white screen. That's the PHP blue screen of death for like Windows, but white screen of death is what happens with a WordPress. This is designed to trick hackers. So what will happen is, remember when we installed the WordPress, or we could have installed it underneath like a directory or folder? Well, that would be in here, but yet you would show people this. So the hackers would see this, but it really ain't going to be there. It's really going to be underneath a folder. That stops them. It's another level of hacking, of hack proofing site. Okay. But don't do that unless you've moved that site into that area, or your system will crash. The other thing, notice that is the administrative email. Notice I set up ahead of time. And the reason why I did it, because once I create this email as a security feature, I don't have the ability to see their emails anymore. So I'm going to create it, but I can't recreate it anymore. They'll have to do it. So I'm going to do this for them, and I'll forward this to whatever personal email they might have. Okay. But this gives them an official email based on their domain. Next off, you have the ability to tell people, can they register your website or not? If it's going to be an interactive website, well, then you need to allow registration. If you do allow registration, then make sure they are a subscriber and not an administrator. Some people set that up where the people register and become administrators. The people take over the website and they're done. Okay, so you got to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, there's other things you can do, contributors and editors. That allows people to post to your website, but they can't really make modifications that are in the core of the site. I always make them subscribers, and I'll work on that later. The other thing is time zone. Time zone is necessary to set, because if you have a calendar, anybody in the world will see the same thing if the time zone is set on the server properly. Doesn't matter where they are, it'll match their time zone and make it look like the right time. Okay, but if this is not set up, then it'll be all messed up. They might be seeing a day behind when you're a day ahead. So notice this right here. The way to make this work is make this look like what you are currently. So I'm at what, 6:47, and this is done in military time. Military time means that anything over 12, subtract 12. So that says 22:43, subtract 12. What is it? Minus 1 and a 2, we have 10:43, right? So we're going to change this. Let's say it's, let's see, I think it might be -5 or -4. All right, let me try to say, this other stuff is just standards, the way you want things to look. I always just leave these alone. And I always think my week start on Sunday or Monday. Some people who are maybe religious like theirs to start on Sunday. Let me save it and go back and look at this time. And local time 18. Let me see. So I'd be right now it's 6:48 on my time, which would be plus 12 would make that 18:48. So that's correct. You see that? All right. So if it's right for me here, that means it's right for everybody. All right. So this is set up. So that's their first setting that you need to set up. Notice when I change that Lori and all this stuff, we go look at the website. I refresh the website by just clicking on it. Notice it says, see, Lori Trotter, this is my tagline. See that? All right, so let's go back to the dashboard again. Now let's look at writing. Now we're still under settings, okay? Writing is how you defaultly add blog posts. In the system, this is called posts, which is a blog post, okay? The difference between a post and a page is something that's statically on the screen, like about us, contact us, whatever. They stay there, they never move. Whereas a post is like a blog post, and it's always changing. You're adding more, and it works in a philo system, first in, last out kind of thing. Okay. So as you add them, they'll just keep moving themselves down in the list. So right now we're going to say when we write a blog, we're going to defaultly go to the category of untitled, because we haven't added any categories yet. And the default post is going to be standard, even though there's all these different kind of post formats. If you're going to post the images, well, you use the image format. If you're going to post videos, you use the video format, and so on and so forth. I just leave it as standard. There's another feature of WordPress that is really powerful that no one uses, and that is this post via email. Okay, now let me tell you how this works. Let's say you had a website that was, let's see, for instance, the website for the all the restaurants. Let's say that you want a restaurant or somebody to be able to post to your website to a specific group, or specific category. Okay, you make a whole bunch of categories. Then when people post, you got to create yourself an email that the website itself only checks. Nobody checks this email except for the website. People can send an email to that email address, and the website will pick it up and post it into this category as a post, all by itself. You don't do anything. Okay. Now that's a unusual thing to do because you might have more X-rated stuff than you'll ever probably see, or think of. But you also set the systems that posts never go in the system until you verify them. But that's a feature that you can use. I never use it, okay, at all. Another thing here, which I'm going to go back and show you later, is this right here, updating service. This is very powerful, and no other website that I know of does this kind of thing. If we go back to the general and tell the system, I mean, I think it's under reading, to tell the system that Google can find us, this thing's going to open up right here, and you can put in ping services, and every time you post a post, it will automatically tell all the ping services like Google and AOL and all of them that I just put something new in the website, and it'll put you in the system all by itself. That's very powerful. Okay. So that's all we need to do here. Let's just go ahead and save that. Really nothing to do here unless you had made new categories and stuff anyway. All right. Under reading, we already been there. Under discussion. Discussion, still under settings, is the area that you set how people interact with your blogs or with your posts. And this is very important. The first thing you want to do is turn off some of these. Attempt to notify any blogs, a link from posts. You need to turn some of these off because these are link backs to other people's websites. They probably try to steal your content, okay, or steal your traffic. So I sort of turn that stuff off. Allow people to submit comments to a post. Well, sometimes you don't want to do that, okay? Some themes allow you to turn this on per post. So you have that choice as you make your post. Other settings. Comment author must fill out name and email. Yes. User must be registered and logged into comment. Of course. So you'll have all kind of random stuff coming on your website. Automatically close comments posted older than 14 days. Well, maybe. Show comment cookies, blah, blah, blah. So these are really Englishly, I mean, sort of wrote in English, so you can sort of turn them on or turn them off. I would always say, though, this right here, anyone posts a comment, email me. Email me when a comment's held for moderation. These need to be on. This right here is deceiving. Comment must be manually approved. Yes. This one here will say if two comments are put in and they're okay, then let them post anything. Well, you know what hackers do? They'll do two that are nice and pretty, so the system likes it, and then they will blast you like crazy after the two, and you didn't even think about it. The system lets them in. So we do not want to do that. We want to manually approve them. In this area, you can make it so you can block out certain words, or disallow certain words or change certain words. In this case, if someone puts in, let's say, the word hell, you can make a change to something else. And in this way, you can say if certain things are happening, you can just not allow it at all. Okay. The other area, show avatars now. Remember over here in this corner, it shows like a little picture over here. I can't see because of this. Let me see. Can I move this thing? Yeah, I can move it over here. See over here, see it has like a little picture? Mm-hmm. Well, that's the avatar. So you can turn that on or off, all right? And you can also make it so the avatar changes to one of these crazy things, okay? Now, I personally set my crazy things to the Gravatar logo. What is a Gravatar? A Gravatar is a common logo that's used across all your social media platforms. How do you set it? You go to gravatar.com, put in your logo, and it pulls it from everywhere. I mean, everything pulls it from Gravatar. Okay. Also, always set your site to G rating, unless it truly is something that kids shouldn't see, because Google will smack you hard and you will not come up in the search. Okay. Now, if you're making an X-rated website, well, of course, you know, go ahead and put the X-rated there. But I don't know about that. I don't want to know about that. All right. When you're done with this stuff, save the changes. Next one, media. This is a powerful thing, but you need to understand it. When you, media is anything, but in this case, it's the pictures that you put on a page. So if you upload a picture to WordPress, it is very, very powerful. What it does, it breaks it down into multiple sizes, if those sizes go over these things that are set. So for instance, let's say you took a picture right out of your camera. Those things are humongous. These cameras are like crazy humongous. It'd be like 4,000 by 4,000, be some gigantic picture, right? Well, WordPress will automatically take it and break it down into these three pieces, into a thumbnail, which is 150 by 150, and then these others respectively. Now, the only bad thing about that, it also keeps your original. So every time you upload an image, it's going to keep 4 versions of your image on your server, and your server will be just littered with images. It just eats up memory, right? A way to get around that is to always make your pictures the right size to begin with, and don't let it make other versions of them. So if you don't need a large, don't make a large, and it won't make this one because it didn't go past the large. So it's going to just make these 2. If you don't ever want to make these, then make this number gigantic, so the system will never, ever be able to do it. They make it like 9,000 something, and it'll never go there, and it'll never make these extra images. Mine is too late. I think I have millions of images, and it's eating up my memory on my website, and I'm only probably using 50, you know, because over the time you keep changing your images, but they never delete. You delete them out of the system. It doesn't delete those 3 that it created. It only deletes that original one. Okay. The other thing is you want to organize your files by month and year, because that allows your system to use internal things like the calendar of posts and blogs and stuff like that. It automatically arrange them in folders and things that the system can see by date. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. All right. Next thing, permalinks. This is the almighty permalink thing. Really, your website looks like this. It's like question mark, whatever, because it's pulling data out of the system, right? But for SEO purposes, we want the site to look like something that makes sense. So I always put it like post name. This will make it so it equals my domain / whatever I've named my page or my post. Makes it very Englishy. Okay. So watch this. And don't make up one. I'm going to go over this optional part. This thing could kill your site. So let's save it and watch what happens. Let's go back to the website. Okay. Notice if we go to About Us now, look at our domain, laurietrotter.com/about. It's the name of the page. Blog, look, /blog. It becomes English. Contact, look at that. If we go back and make it some screwed up looking thing, save it, and go back, and then refresh it, and go to home. Well, that is home. Let's go to About. Look at it. Question mark page equals _ID equals 7. That is worthless for SEO. Let's go back, put that back, post. Remember, this is a real website I'm working on, so I'm teaching you, but I'm actually helping myself doing my job. Okay. Hit that again. All right. Go back to this guy. All right, so that's that guy. Okay. And they show you all kind of different constructs, but I always like the one that's page name. Okay. Privacy. This is something new they added in the last few versions. All websites really need a privacy statement now by sort of legal law. So it makes it'll create you a privacy page using some standards. So I'm going to say, go ahead and create it. Okay. And look at that. See, it produced a privacy page based on the website all for you. Okay. Then you can go back in and modify stuff. It gives you everything you need to know, but you need to go ahead and fill in some of this data for yourself. Okay. And let me get out of this. I hate this. Let me see where I'm at first. Go back. Okay, I'm back here. Anyway, so that does that. And what it'll do is it'll create under pages, if we hit pages, a page called privacy, see? Then we can edit that page. But now I don't want to get too far. Let's continue under our settings. The next one is anti-spam. This is something that came in the system. So sometimes you install the stuff, the host will install something they deem is something that's good for you, okay? And this is probably good for you. So you need to read through this and mark or whatever you might want to do, whatever. I'm not gonna mess with this right now because I don't know if I want to use this plugin. It's definitely a plugin that they put in when I installed WordPress automatically. So that will not probably be there normally. So you'll see the privacy and up, but you will not see that, okay? All right, so that's settings. So now let's start looking at the system. We've already set it up. Now let's start looking at the pages and the posts. All right, so we're going to go back up here. A post and a page. If we look at them, they're going to look the same, but they don't work the same. A post is something that you add with categories and tags. Tags are like little keywords that are going to go on a page that can also be searched, such as like if you do a category, let's say you're making a website of dogs. Well, the category could be, well, let's say of animals. The category could be dogs. The tags inside could be different kinds of dogs. And you can make a category of cats, and the tags can also be different kinds of cats. Okay, that would be that kind of hierarchy. Okay. If you hover over over posts, you can see all the posts, or you click that literally gets to all posts. I click it. There's one post, that's the Hello World post that we saw when we're over at the website, when we hit blog. That's our Hello World post, okay, right there. If we were to click on that, we will see the post. That's the actual post itself, all right? We only have one post. If we want to edit that post, we can hover over and hit edit, quick edit. We can trash it or we can view it. Now, trashing something doesn't mean that it goes in the trash. Trash means it goes to a folder called the trash. You can have to go back and empty the trash later because you can always bring stuff out of the trash. All right. If we quick edit something, I rarely quick edit something because it doesn't allow you to put pictures and whatever, just a little nasty little text editor. So you can hit edit. And there is the editor. Now, I'm going to show you right now the generic editor that comes with WordPress, which is called Gutenberg. Gutenberg is somebody who created it, and WordPress does it. They make names of things from the people who created them. But this Gutenberg editor is called a blocks editor. And I'm going to tell you why it's so powerful. You could normally have just a page. You can start writing stuff out, but it has no order to it. You don't really know what you might want to put in place, right? Well, the Gutenberg editor is pretty cool because it allows you to pick little blocks to build your page with. All right. So let me hover over things. First thing you're going to do is touch this, and we can change this post. You can edit it live. So it says the title. I'll say, this is my first post. And let me tell you something about posts. A name of a post can be very verbose, can be long because it's actually very searchable. It does not become like a link or a tag or a tab on your website. It's just the name of the post. So you want that name to be sort of relative to what you're going to post. That becomes part of your SEO. I'll tell you another secret. Whatever you put here, you want to also write down in the body someplace, because SEO relevancy says the title must somehow match the body. Okay, so we put that in. That automatically gets you to an okay of SEO, even though you're going to put more stuff in there. All right, so let's look at how Gutenberg works. So far, it looks like a plain little thing. There's the title, there's the body. Let's see what's something that's so much better looking than just this. So we'll go here and we can say, let me see here. I got to move stuff around. This stuff's in my way. We can go here and say, if I click it, a little plus sign should show up somewhere. If I can get it to show up. I can't get it to show up. Where the hell is it? can't get it to show up. This allows you to put in more blocks, insert, output, and all that kind of stuff. You can also remove that block somewhere. Where's my little, oh, here we go. They changed this. This theme modified it. Normally you put your mouse over this, you will have like a little plus sign that shows up, but it doesn't, but it's up here. So let me go ahead and plus. And I gotta move your guys' heads out of the way. These are all the different kind of blocks you can use right by default. So let's say we want, a paragraph, which is what you have, make a quote. You can put in a classic editor. If we put in the classic editor, now we got a little editor here. Now it looks like a little mini version of Word. You see that? You can start typing here, hello world. And we can do stuff like highlight it and change the color of it, stuff like you would do in a word processor. Okay.
Mhm.
So, but there's other block. Oh, now look, now it shows me the little plus sign. So you can put all your body in here if you like. You hit this little button and you can add a new one. See, different kind of things. We can browse all, it puts it over here. Then we can do other stuff. Let's say we want to add an image. We can add an image. And we can upload an image. Let's pick WordPress. And there's an image. Okay, that's simple. And you can keep doing that. Now, what's so cool about this is I can go and add a plugin that will allow me to add like already pre-created pages. All right, now let me show you that right quick. Let's go ahead and update this. So let's go over here. Once we've done that, let's say we like what we have here so far. We go over here, we can say update. That'll save it. Wait till the update goes away. That means you've saved it. But there's all kinds of things you can do. Like if you click on stuff, notice all these different things you can see. You can see revisions of your pages. You can see the permalink. You can modify the permalink name that's going to happen behind your domain. That's your slug. A slug is the thing that's shown behind your domain, like whatever.com/slug. Really, the slug is your page name. The reason why they call it a slug is because if you make your page name real wacky, well, it's going to modify it so that it's good for HTML. It'll put a hyphen in it, it'll take the spaces out, it'll make it all lowercase, all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's called a slug. We can do stuff like categories. We can modify categories on the fly. We can add new categories if we want. Let's say dogs. All right, we can add that category. But right now, this post is part of the uncategorized and the dog category. We can take the uncategorized off. We can add slugs, or tags. We can say, I don't know, what kind of dog. I can't spell nothing, so I ain't gonna try nothing. So I'll just say a yellow dog, all that. All right, so that's a tag. Okay, I can't spell for crap. Anyway, so that's the tags. Now, something else that's on pages and posts is something called a featured image. Now, these things are funny. The featured image is what shows up a lot when you share a page to social media. It'll pull the featured image as the image for that page. In WordPress, though, it defaults to the first image you put on a page. That becomes the image that gets shared when you share to social media. You can add plugins that'll make it so it's the featured image that does it. I like to do that because I might change this picture all over the place. I want to make it so I know what image is going to be shared when I share my page. Okay, that's the featured image. So we can go ahead and select that. Let's put in something. And the featured image may or may not necessarily be, may or may not necessarily not show up. Depending upon your theme, it could show up on the top of your page. Okay, so there's our featured image. There's images on the website. And I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like in a minute. It's gonna look like crap. Excerpt. That is what you want to put on a system that's on a post that shows like a little mini version of what's going to be on the post. It's like the brief of what the whole post is about. So you put in the excerpt right here. You don't have to though. Discussion. Look at this. Per post, you can say allow comments or allow pingbacks and tracks. I never allow these because this is how people piggyback off your posts. I turn that off. All right. Post attributes. There's templates. Notice different kind of template. If you wanted to cover the whole template or make it full with the template. It just depends on what the theme allows you to have as a post template, you know, the layout of the post. Okay, I'm just going to lay it default, and I'm going to go ahead and update it. Why is that thing still up on my screen? Can't get rid of that. This thing is in my way. I hate this thing. Hide. Let me see something. Hide floating controls. There we go. Jesus. Okay, now that's much better. All right, there we go. Blog. All right, let's take a look at that. Refresh it. See that, what we just did? Look at that. We changed the title of the post. That was our featured image. Notice I showed you sometimes it shows up on the post, sometimes it doesn't. Let's go ahead and go into the post. Look at that. So in this theme, it's making the feature image right above whatever's going to be in the post content. You see that? If somebody already left a message, they put something on here already. So that's a comment that's left. And then look, people can comment on that post right there. It's an ugly theme, but it's just showing you the features. We can go back and turn that off right here. Notice under discussion, if we turn that off and update it, watch what happens. Go back to it, let's refresh it. Notice now people cannot comment on the post. See that? All right. Notice underneath, these are the footers that are showing up. This has nothing to do with the post itself. That's just the layout of the site. Okay, and I'll show you how that turns on and off. So that's the post we just created. Notice it's under blogs, you see? And look at that right there. That's the category right there. We click on it, we're in the category of dogs. The reason why you have categories in blogs, you ever go to a newspaper website and they show different kinds of news like politics, religion, whatever, all that stuff? Those are categories of the posts, and you click it, and that's how you can sort all your posts to different categories. So if you click on the category, it'll only show you the posts that work inside that category. All right, does that make sense? Okay. All right, so let me go back to the area here. Let me move this stuff out of my way.
What if you decide to have that as a page?
The post?
Yeah.
Well, remember you have pages already.
Right. But let's say you decide, oh, I don't want that dogs to be a post. I want that to be a page instead.
Okay, we'll do the same thing, but in a page. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get out of this. Let me see here. How do I get out of this thing? Let me move this out of the way. All the stuff's in my way. Okay. Leave this. Oh, hit the wrong button. There we go. All right. So I went back to the dashboard, right? That is the post we're working on. Now remember, posts will only show up inside under blogs, right? And she said, what if we wanted to make a page? Well, a page would show up as one of these titles if we put the title in the menu. So let's go ahead now and go to a page. So under pages, we click it, we can see our pages. You see that? Now notice that there's more pages than we have in our menu because we have something called what? A menu. You can create pages, but don't put them in the menu. Okay? Like hidden pages. So you want to always think about when you make your pages, if they're going to be in a menu, make the names small enough they don't take over your whole entire freaking window. You know, you can have a big old long menu name and you run out of areas for your titles. All right, so let's go ahead and make that page she was talking about. Notice that we can edit, quick edit, trash, and view, just like we did before on a page, except there's no categories. So we're going to go ahead and make a page. We can either add them here, plus and add a page here, or a post, or we can go ahead and add it right here. There's 3 different ways you can add it. Add a page. Notice it looks exactly the same as a post, right? Except if let me move this little thing. How can I minimize this thing? Hide these things. Oh, there we go. I'm getting good, boy. All right. All right, so let's put in a title. We'll say dogs because I can't spell big words, okay? This is some default block they allow you to put some stuff into, right? This is normally the little block that's going to go under your title. Then you start doing your real stuff. Let's say this page is all about dogs. Okay. Get away from that. And we're going to say add new block. We'll put in a paragraph block. Notice this is going to look different. Where the heck is it? We just added the block. Oh, paragraph block. Where is the that paragraph? Let me get over it and delete that block. Remove block. That's an ugly paragraph block. We want a classic one. There we go. Classic one. Now we're talking. So let me just go and get some content. Let's say we go and say all about dogs. Okay. And I'm just going to get this content right here. Right? I'm going to steal it because I don't feel like typing. Copy that stuff. And we're going to paste that in there. All right. There's some content right there, right? Let's say we want to add a picture of a dog. So we go to the bottom of this thing. And we're going to add a image. And I'm going to get one from a URL. So let's go and look at some dogs. Images. Remember, don't do this for real because this is how I got caught. All right, I'm going to take the image address of this guy and say I want to insert it from an image. I mean, from an address. Press enter and look. See, there it is on your page now. Okay, but remember, it's really connected to somebody else's. So if they change that image, it changes on your website. You get it? So you want to really do this. You really want to save the image to your hard drive. Change that name they give you because see that name right there? That is the name probably for somebody who's hosting that image and will sue you if you use it. So I'm just going to say, let's see, upside down dog. I know they don't have that name. And I'm going to now upload it. Instead of using it like this, I'm going to say, I'm going to change this image. Oh, wait a minute. Let's add a new one. Image. Upload it. And see, it's the same image. It's just that now it's hosted on your server and not hosted on their server. Okay. So let's go ahead and delete that one.
So, but to make sure that it's legal though, you could filter like on like Google Images, right? You could do a filter like images for public use.
Yes, exactly. That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah. Get the free.
And those would be more safer, right? Okay.
Yeah, and actually legal.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I actually did get sued before. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a picture from somewhere, and it was a public image, but for some reason it was a public image that had rights to what's the name of those people that always get all the Getty Images? Boy, they called me for years, man. They tried to sue me like $1,200 for one image.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? You better bleed a rock. You ain't getting it from me. But anyway, there's that. And we can do things like in the editor, you know, like highlight stuff, you know, put a link to a website if we want, you know, the normal stuff you do. If you hover over, it tells you exactly what it does, you know, it's pretty simple. Once you like what you like, then you can go ahead and publish it. Okay. And it's going to ask you, do you want to be public immediately, or it can be saved to private. So people have to log in and be an administrator to see it, or it can be a password page and you can create the password on the fly. We want to make it immediately public because we can actually make this page show up sometime in the future. We can say, add this page public, but make it only show up tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's pretty powerful. That way you can write all your stuff, go on vacation, and your website keeps publicizing itself, and you're just sitting on the beach. And your website's just doing good data and everything. Your boss is looking like, man, that guy's working. Let me go ahead and make it public. and publish it like right now.
But if you publish it, can you like, and let's say after you publish it, you realize, oh no, I don't like that. I want to change it. Can you do
Yeah,
that?
you can edit it, but
Oh.
guess what? We published it,
What?
but it ain't on the website yet. We never added it to the menu.
Okay, it's not on the website yet, but let's say I want to publish it immediately. You decide not to publish it in 2 weeks, you know, and it's immediately been published to the public for all the world.
Yep.
And like, but then you realize you want to go back and edit it.
Just
edit
hover
it.
over it and edit it right there.
Oh, really? Oh, so you could still do that even though
Yeah,
you published
just
it.
edit it. See, watch. This comes
Oh,
right back. We can just modify it. And then once
oh,
we modify,
okay.
we just republish it again. You know?
Okay, I mean, you know, but then, okay, I mean,
Yeah,
so
I
then,
mean, somebody
okay,
might have
right,
saw
right.
it, but hey,
Right, but then,
you know,
exactly. Okay, right.
yeah, then you just deny, no,
Yeah.
right? You know, but anyway, right now we made the page, but guess what? When we go to the website, it's nowhere to be found, right? It's not there. So we go back here now that it's published, we go back to appearances and go to menu. And those are the menu, the items that are on the menu. Okay. We can make a sub menu by just grabbing and sliding. That becomes now a sub menu of home. We can make this a sub menu of about. We can make this a sub menu of blog. Put them all back and they become top level menus. But if we want that new page, let's do you all see dog. Let's go and add that to the menu. We can slide it wherever we wanted to slide it to. Save the menu. Also, some themes have multiple menus. So this one is the horizontal menu. Well, it's got all kind of menus, footer menus, mobile menu. You can make a different mobile menu. When they go mobile, the whole menu can be totally different. Okay. Let's look at the website. Refresh it. What's that? What's that? There's a page called dogs now. Now we click on it. There it is. See that? So a page is a static thing. It doesn't change unless you change it. Whereas blogs are things that just keep incrementally adding to. The pages keep adding. And even the page might not change. It's just that you're adding more blogs. Okay. And you can also edit a blog once you post it too. Okay. So now those are the pages and those are the posts. Okay. Notice how, remember I told you about the media where, you know, you upload an image and you can modify it. It makes like multiple versions of it. Well, here's where all your media is stored. It's in the library of the media. Those are everything that I've uploaded so far. I can look at it in a couple different ways. The linear way, or I'll forget which way that's called. And then this way. And you should SEO your pictures on the fly. Like as you upload pictures, you want to go ahead and give them an alt text. Alt text is when your mouse hovers over, it shows you what that means. So I normally would take the title and also put it in the alt text. And then the caption is something that will show up at the bottom of the image. That I might not want to do that, but some people will. Like let's say you upload a picture of a person, you might want to put their name under their image. That goes with the image. It'll stay literally with the image. So if you use the image somewhere else, that name will go with it. The description here is good for SEO because when people search on images, they'll see your image and all this data will come up. And I always put what it is and the link back to my website right in the description. And this, of course, is the actual URL of where that image literally is. So if I were to take this, copy it, open up a browser and just paste this in a browser, it should just show that image. See, that's literally where that image is. And it's literally the real size of that image. Okay. That's how people leech. They would leech off your images like that. Notice that all the information about it. It shows who uploaded it and where it's uploaded to. It's uploaded to a page called dogs. Okay. That SEOs the image. And you can go to the next one and SEO it. And then the next one. But you really want to do those on the fly as you go. That way you don't have to come back and do this. Okay. Now I've done that. Let's see if that works on that one image. Let me go back to where's the website? Okay, dogs. If I did it right, when I hover my mouse over, and it doesn't work worth a squat. Let's see. Oh, that's bull smack, isn't it? Normally, you put your mouse over it, it should show what that name of that image is. So some reason this, and the theme could stop it actually, but I don't see it.
Gerald, did I miss the part where did you tell us how to make it where people can't steal your image?
No, not really. That's actually done at your host level. In your host level, you have to go and turn leeching. You have to turn on anti-leeching. That's at the host level. And what happened
Thank
is
you.
it makes the images have like a rights to download or not download, or to show somewhere else outside of the domain. That's literally what it does. It locks it at the domain where it originates. So if they put it over on their website, it's going to just show them a red square. It's called anti-leeching. Okay. Any other questions?
So how would, like, so let's say we just created the page, but let's say we decided, oh, now I want it to be a post instead.
You can't flip a page to a post. You have to actually make a
Oh, you
post.
can't.
They're literally two different things.
So I can't convert a page to a post.
No,
Okay.
but
And
there are things
I can't convert a post to a page.
you can't do it. Yeah, they cannot be. They're their own thing.
Okay.
But now you can show posts inside of a page. There's like blocks that could say show posts, and I'll show you that right here. Like let's say you wanted to show posts on this page, right? See this little edit? There's an edit when you're on the front side of the website. See edit page, edit right there. We hit edit, that takes us directly to that page to edit. We can actually go here and add a block, browse, and we can say add, let's see. Might not have it here. Let's see here. It should be something that says, it'll say post. There we go. See right there? Latest post. But add that to that page. Now, I've never used it before, but let me see what it does. Oh, it is right there. Look, this is my first post. It put it right in the page. See that? So that put in a link to that post right on your page. You get rid of that though. Looks ugly as crap, but anyway,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, you can go back and edit it and try to put a post in a page. Normally you don't do that. Normally you make links to posts, or posts might have a link back to a page. Okay. Now, let me leave it. Now there's other things you can add. Those are like generic blocks. You can add more plugins. Let's jump to plugins right quick. Plugins are the features of the website. And we had an error. Let's see what happens here. Oh, we came back. All right, so we only got 2 plugins. These are like creature features that you add to the website, like if you need to add calendars and different things like that. Right now we have no other creature features in here. So let's say we want to add some new types of blocks in our editor. What we just say, add new. And you'll see there's thousands of things. You just have to put in some search category. I'm just going to say blocks. And look, there's Gutenberg blocks. Let me just go ahead and install it. You can say more detail to tell you about it and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to activate it. Now watch this. I'm going to go back to those pages that was on. Go back to the website. I'm going to go back to dogs. And since I'm still in admin mode, I'm going to edit that page. And now we'll see, I'm going to add me some, oh, by the way, it auto saves your pages for you. You can always go back to different revisions here, see? Let's go ahead and add a new block. Now watch this. I'm going to say, browse all blocks. Now watch, we're going to get all fancy all of a sudden. Look at all those different things we can add to a page. All that pretty stuff. Now this is building stuff by hand, but guess what? We can go one step further. Look right here, templates. Let's say we want a page that looks something like these professionals. Let's say I want a page that looks like this one. Click it, there's different versions of it. I want that one, import it. Boom, let's wait for a minute. This is making the professionals do our work for us. So all those pretty websites you see, you know good and well, they ain't doing them. They're just using templates. Yeah, I had to pick one that's like big. Why did I pick one that's so big? Oh, we'll have to sit and wait for it now. I don't want to crash it. It's pretty good though. I mean, you literally can make a site that looks super professional by doing this. Really and truly. Wait for this thing to load.
So I have a question then.
Okay.
So if I have a site and I'm looking for bloggers, are you saying that I can just import a blog page on my site?
Well, there's two things. You can import pages. This is really going to be a layout for a page. This is really not a post. This is actually a page that I'm importing. Okay.
Okay.
If you had a site that you have bloggers and they have their own blog pages, you do have the ability to pull in something called RSS feed, and you can RSS feed and you can suck their blogs into your website and it'll do it all by itself.
Oh, really? Okay.
And you can do it the other way around. The blogs that you have, people can suck them in off your website and put them on theirs. Man, this thing's taking a while, ain't it?
Yeah, because that's one thing I do need. I need bloggers, but finding bloggers to do it on their own seems like pulling teeth right now.
Something less. Man, this thing is slow.
It said something about you need to add it manually.
This?
The little tab that came up, that's what it was saying, the heads up.
Oh, maybe it didn't like it. Maybe it was a pro person. It should do it automatic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to waste too much time on it. It will basically make it look just like this picture. I mean, it'll look exactly like this. Then you go back in and modify the blocks, you know. Now it'll not let me. Actually, I don't have it canceled now. You see that? I might have jacked up this whole site. Let's see. This thing could look like a freaking mess. Let me look. Okay, not too bad yet. Why can't I click this thing? Kill it. That's probably not a good thing to do, but anyway, that's normally what you can do. I don't know why I'm doing it right now, but it works really good when it works, but of course it's going to prove me wrong. So anyway, I just added basically more tools to your thing. But let me tell you, I don't normally use the block system. I normally go to my plugins and I add a plugin called, let me see, it was called, let me see, Classic. Okay, be good if I spelled it right. Classic. Okay, see, these are classic editors. Okay, I use this one right here, Advanced Editor. Let me install that. Let me show you the difference. There's two different editors. Oh, it failed. What? I never saw that before. Okay. Okay, it did install it, but it didn't activate it. Let me activate it. Now, you might not see anything when you activate these plugins, but they're there. This one happens to be, I think, under settings. Yep, there it is. Things that these menus are built. We're going to go ahead and under the classic editor, enable this editor, and we want to make our editor look more like Word. Okay, we want to add all these different tools. You know, we want the underline stuff. We want what else do we want? Blah blah blah. We don't need print. Background color, we like that one. You know, anyway, you cut, paste, all this kind of stuff. See, we have drop downs now, and we can save the changes. Then what we'll do is let's go back to pages, right? And let's look at that same page we created with dog, right? Dog, edit it. Now notice blocks are still on, right? But we want to change it now so that it goes to, oh shoot, let me go back. I gotta go turn it off. So let's go to the plugins again. And we'll say, add a new plugin called Classic Editor. This disables the Gutenberg. Man, why does it fail like that? It's so strange. It does it, and then, but it says it failed, but it didn't fail. It's like weird. Now when we go back to that dog, edit the page, we should be in the different editor. See? Now it looks like Word. It's not using blocks. You see? So the editor looks more like what you're used to. You can put your cursor wherever you want. You can say add media. It just looks like a regular Word type thing. And notice over here, there's your featured image stuff. There's your page attribute stuff. We don't use this here because we're going to use the menu system. If you use this will change your menu too, but it really is confusing. It says this page has no parent. That means it's a top level page. Or you can put it underneath one of these. See, I don't like it like that. I like the visual mode of making the menu, so I don't teach this, okay? And then themes don't use it too much. We can save it as a draft. Notice we can make it public or not public. Same stuff. This is the editor looks different for your pages. Okay, so one is the Gutenberg editor, which comes with the system, and this is the classic editor, which I sort of prefer. Okay, any questions?
Can you delete a post or a page?
Yeah, let's go to
Okay.
pages and notice that post, trash it. It's out of here.
Oh, okay, I see.
But guess what? It created something called the
Right.
trash. So if
Right,
you go in there, it's still in there. And we can
Okay.
restore it.
right.
Or we
Okay,
can permanently, bring it back if we want.
right.
So there it is. But you see, it brings it back as a draft. So it's not really on the site. You have to edit it. And then instead of saving it as a draft, we got to publish it now. That makes it live. You can tell that because now it says update. Anything that's live, you can do updates on. Okay. The same in pages. So we look at all pages. We can trash a page. See right there, trash it. Look inside the trash. There it is. So you want to make sure you delete them, like delete it permanently, or take it out of the database. All right, so now we went over the posts, the media, the pages. Comments are what they are. We hit comments, you can see the comments of your site. You can, if it's a spam, you want to go ahead and say it's spam. Don't just trash those because it'll come right back if it's not marked as spam. If you like it, you can go ahead and approve it. This one's actually approved. We can unapprove it if I want, take it out. We can actually edit their post and just modify it. That's a quick edit. See, quick edit doesn't show anything. Notice how it looks. Look, it's so ugly looking. You can't change stuff. If we go to, hey, where the hell did I go? Where was I just at? Pages. What just happened there? Oh, I got pumped out of comments. That's what it was. If I do a real edit, yeah, it looks no better. Excuse me. So apparently comments don't have a really good editor to them. So it's just little dumb stuff like that. Back in the old BBS days. So that's comments. Remember, we went over some appearances. There's the themes. We can customize the theme. Now let's look at something called widgets. Remember over here where we looked at the website? Notice there's like these things at the bottom here. These are footer pieces. Well, they're controlled by something called the widgets. Widgets are things that you sprinkle all over your website. Okay, notice this is a footer widget. This thing does not have any sidebars, so there's no sidebars that you can throw widgets into. A sidebar, if you look at my website, is, let me see, let me look at this website. That's not a good website to look at. Let me look at this website. That one, see that side right there? That's called a sidebar right there. And these are little widgets in here. Okay, little widgets I've thrown in. And I have them only on one side. This is called the right sidebar. That means the body would be on the left. If we said there's a left sidebar, this will flip over here and the body would be on the right. Okay. And we can throw in widgets. So to get rid of a widget, you just pick it up and throw it away. Just throw it anywhere. If you want to save it, you pick it up and drop it down here under inactive widgets. So let's add a widget or two. Notice we only have footers, so we can only put them in the footer area. Let's throw that away too. So there's 2 footer areas. Notice right here, see that one says about the site and find us. Those are those widgets. If I hit refresh, they're going to be gone. Watch. Now there's no widgets at the bottom because when you do stuff here, it's instant. It saves it instantaneously. Let's say we grab this calendar widget and throw it in the first one. If you don't name it, it's going to take that name right there. Say done. Watch it show up. See, there's a calendar widget. That calendar widget is going to show you the posts based on their days. Remember I told you to mark that thing so it could save it in date and time? So watch this. See, that was that post we put. It made the posts into a calendar of posts. Let's add another widget. Let's say we want not really any good widgets we have. Oh, categories. We have a couple categories, I think. Let's throw that over here. Don't even title it. It'll take the title categories. It's displayed as drop downs. You can count the posts and their hierarchy if you have many of them. You take a look at it and refresh it. See that? There's the categories. Click that, hit dogs. Now it's going to take you to the category of dogs in the posts. We did that just by throwing around widgets on the website. If you want to put something special, like from another website that's HTML, well, hell, here's a widget that can take HTML. Meta is the stupidest word for what I'm going to show you what it is. Watch this. Meta. If we put another one here, it's going to just go underneath it, right? Watch what meta is. It's a dumb thing. Go home. Look, meta is where you log into your website and stuff. Why in the world do they call it meta? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Just like this here. If you're logged out, it'll say howdy. Look at that thing. Howdy. Was this done in Texas? Howdy. Anyway, I always add plugins for this login part. I'll throw that away. So I'll go into plugins, add a new plugin. Let's pick in login, a login plugin. I think the one I like is login, log out. Log out. There it is. So if I install that one, see, there's something wrong with this. Update failed, but yet it's actually there. That's weird. Now watch this. Now if I go back to my widget area, which is under appearance, widgets, I'll have new widgets. Watch, I'll find the widget. Where is it at? Why don't I see the widget? Huh. You literally didn't install that widget. That's weird. Go back to the plugins here. Did it activate that plugin? Oh, it didn't activate it. See, that's what's weird. Let's activate that plugin. Go back to widgets. Where's it at here? Appearance, widgets. Now we should see it. Log in, log out. Let me grab it, put it in there. Now we have some cool stuff. Show this, show that, show this, and save it. Now we go to the website, watch what we see in our footer. See, that's a much better login, log out thing. See, welcome, the username, you can log out, the admin section. Instead of it saying meta. Who in the world knows what a meta is? All right, so anyway, that's just, we're just modifying the system per se to give us more things that we can sprinkle on the website. If we added a calendar system, there'd be calendar widgets. If we added an e-commerce system, we'd have e-commerce widgets. I mean, these widgets just keep growing. They become parasite pieces of the functions that you put in the system. Okay, that's what a widget is. What else did we not go over? We already went over the menu. Now, background and theme editor, I would not mess with this till you know what you're doing. I would do the customize button. You hit customize, this will allow you to modify the theme that we're using. Notice how it shows all the stuff, site identity, see, same stuff, which I showed you in a different area. Theme options, look at that. Show whatever, it's got all different kind of options to the theme. The colors and stuff. Background image, remember that little thing that said background? Here's where you can now change that. Here's the menus that you can modify here also. The locations for your menus. Let's go back. There's the widget area. See, we have two. You can even install a plugin that can give you different widget areas. Homepage settings, see, notice that stuff? Remember, if it shows your static page or your posts. Remember, I showed it to you in the settings area, but you can do it all from customize. And if you know CSS, you can put some CSS code in here and it'll modify your site. When you're done, you just hit published, or it'll say publish. It's already published here. And then we can just kill it and we go back to where we were. Okay. Theme editor is something you really don't mess with. That allows you to modify the PHP code. Look at this. I understand I'm going to screw up my website. That's the code of this theme. See right there? You pick the theme, you pick the code. Now let me tell you a little trick, what you're not supposed to do. If, let's say you got a free theme, you don't want the thing at the bottom of the screen that says powered by this WordPress and all that kind of stuff right here. You can go here and go to something called footer. And that data is right here. It's right here somewhere. There it is. See, powered by WordPress. You can say powered by Darnell. Right? And we can update it. And watch. Refresh it. See, powered by Darnell. And if you click that, that's already going to go to WordPress, but we can go back and modify that too. See where it says powered by Darnell? And see, there's the URL right there. Just change that URL to your URL. And then you basically have stolen that theme, so don't be doing that. These free themes are really going back to who created them, you know, giving them their props. So you need to really pay for it before you can remove that by law. Okay? Forget I showed you that stuff. This is also the area that you can put in things like, let's see, like AdWords and AdSense and all that stuff. You put it in here, and that way your system can be tagged by Google, even though there's plugins that'll do it for you, but you can put it in the code itself. Okay. All right. We looked at plugins. This shows you where the plugins are. This shows you the plugins we're using, whether they're activated or not activated. You want to get rid of one, just deactivate it. Then you can actually remove it. You can't remove it unless it's deactivated. Notice, deactivate settings. This was not activated, so I have the ability to activate and delete. I literally can remove it. Users. When people register to your website, they go here. Notice the first one is an administrator role right there. Here's another hacking tip. Once you're an admin, create a new admin and then delete the old admin, because hackers always look for the very first entry of a user and they know it's the administrator. I always get rid of that guy. And I make myself the second one or above. And I make that first guy just a regular old user. All right, you got that? Are you still with me?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be here done in a minute. You can also add a new user itself. Let's say you don't want people to register your website, but it's a private website. You're making them so you add them yourself. You can go add a user. All you need is this required information, and it will actually send them a link with a funky password that they can then log in and change themselves. You can also do this and make them an administrator. Let's say you want to add a new administrator. You can add another administrator that can work on your website. Okay. You can also look at your own profile. So this is your profile. The person who's logged in can see this. This is the only thing that a user will see is their profile page. So they can disable virtual editors or visual editors. They can change colors. They can put in real information if they want. Here's where they put in their avatar if they like. All that kind of stuff. Tools. Now, tools will grow also when you add certain plugins. Certain plugins are tools. They might not show up anyplace, like anti-spam things and different kind of things are tools. But tools do things like you can import data from another website. You can export your data so you can carry it to another website and move it somewhere else. If I hit that, notice I can export all the content or just the post pages or just the media. Depending on what you have, it's going to grow. You have an e-commerce, it's going to say export e-commerce site. All right, same way with import. If you import, you got to install the importer, depending on what you're going to import it from. Blogger, different kind of things. You can import categories and tags, or you can import a full WordPress data. We already did settings when we first started. See all those settings. We already did that. This Titan anti-spam, that's something the system added to it. So I'm not going to go over that. That's a parasite. All right. Now let's say we were done and now we're ready to have Google find our site. Remember I told you about that? Remember to go back to where it says, I think it's under reading maybe. Let's see if it's reading. Yeah. See right there, discourage. Turn that now, open that up. So now that Google can start to index the site. But now we go here to where it says, I think discussion, is it? Nope. Is it writing? There it is. So under writing, now notice this opened up. Now you can add pinging services. And here's a trick. See right there? Hover over that, open that in a new tab. And notice it shows you all the pinging services. I just copy them all and put them in here. And now it's going to ping all those services when I update my website. Let me go back and turn that thing off right quick. Okay, that's a real big trick. I showed you 3 different tricks to make your site start to move up. The last trick for moving a site up pretty damn fast, I mean really fast, is to go to Google Places. Okay, Google Places, and add your company to the map. And man, by golly, it would start to show up. Watch this here. I've not been here very long, and there's a million web developers, right? I'm going to go to Google and type in web design. Let's see if I can get it there. All right, and if I look at this. First one on the map, business in the black, that's me. My other website, digital advertising media. That's the first one. So if you go to maps, under web design, look at me. That's me number 1, and that's me number 3. And they've been there for years. These people were here before I left, but I'm above them. Well, I know they're pissed off. And see, got a little ping right there. Look at that. I click that. Look at that. Go to the website. Boom. There I is.
There I is.
That's a big deal. Let me show you something else SEO wise. It's a super trick. All right, because that is all of WordPress unless you have other questions. Notice this. You got to. This is like worth its weight in gold. Let's go to Google, just straight old Google, right? Give me something. Give me some kind of website that you're, or some kind of service that you are, that's your competitor. Somebody throw me something. Jesus Christ, not all at one time.
Do SKST radio.
Okay, well that's an exact thing. I want a subject.
Okay.
Like who is your,
Oh,
is that your competitor?
Podcast.
Okay, let's do podcast then. Podcast. All right. So let's go to the map. Where is the heck is the map? Map. Okay. All right, so these are the first people that are coming up, right? Let me show you a trick, how you can beat them at their own game. They're on the top. We click it. Look what they use as a keyword, radio studio.
Uh-huh.
So then you can steal that and put that in your little list. Okay, that's one. And you go steal those from everybody. And here's the next trick. Now that you've copied it, right mouse click and say, let me get off of it. Right mouse click and say, view page source. And then hit Control F and put in that keyword and see if they have it in the body. They don't. Once you find their name in the body, you can find other keywords that they're using to stay where they're at.
Wow.
That's an extra trick. Then you basically steal their keywords that they've already ranked high on the top, add them to your system, and you'll rank right up there with them, or if not on top. Instantly. Not, you
That's
don't have to wait.
awesome.
Yeah. Yep, you don't have to wait. Like here's another person. Remember now, we put in podcasts, right? We didn't know that they were using Recording Studio. We would only think that, oh, they use podcasts. No, they're using that keyword. Notice who else is using all those keywords. Look at all these other places. Would you have known to use Recording Studio as a podcast?
Not at all.
Nope. So you just now like found their secret, because what they're doing is using the quote accepted keywords inside of Google that nobody knows exists. And we're getting them from this. We're stealing them from their ranking. Okay. Just a little trick for you. Let me get out all this. Get out all this stuff. All right, so we're back to the back end. We went through every little part. Do you guys think you understand WordPress better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I have to go through mine because it's more intel than that small one, but yeah, I'm still learning.
Well, you have more things in your menu.
Yeah.
What that means is that came from most likely the theme that they chose, or they added a whole lot of plugins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not too many more. The ones I'm really concerned with is the media and the post and the pages users, all the general stuff.
Right.
But, yeah.
Right, because those are really the only ones you're going to be using all the time, unless you have a special function like unless it's e-commerce or something like that, which has just 2 more plugins. Like if I were to go over to my own site, let me log in and I'll show you. If I log into mine, I'll show you what that looks like. I noticed that the web is slow, but when you're transmitting live too.
Yeah.
So you notice I have probably a bazillion plugins in here. And you know what's funny is I don't get a lot of static traffic like this. I get direct hits, which don't show up here. They go direct into the system. Look at all these pending, like, look at this stuff. I mean, what is this stuff here? Rattle, great. So it's spam. There's a pending, blah, 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 spam. I mean, you know, you got to do this like sort of continuously. But let's look at, notice I got a lot of stuff, but look, if I look at plugins,
Mhm.
see all those plugins?
Yeah.
Now you don't want to really have, I mean, I'm getting close to the limit. You don't want to have no more than 20, 25 plugins because it starts to slow the system down, depending on what kind of plugins they are. Some of our plugins are core plugins, so they don't really load or do anything. But if they were, they would eat up stuff, you know. But these are the other two you'd see, which is the e-commerce stuff.
Mhm.
So that would be your orders and coupons, all this stuff, and then all the
Yeah.
products that you might have.
Yeah.
You know, so these are only other two that you will have on a constant basis. But notice they look they look no different than a page or a post. So these are the products, right? Same editor, same everything else. If you want to add one, notice my ad is much bigger because I can add products or add order or add a coupon or price table or testimonial. But as you add plugins, these things just grow
Mhm.
in functions and features. That's it. So you now know the core of the system, so you ought to be able to work with any system. Any other questions?
Yeah, the problem with
I
my
have
page,
a question.
Oh.
Go ahead. Right ahead.
Okay. My question was on the general settings where you, the page you were just on.
General settings, this?
Yes. Yes, this. Okay, can any of these, like the addresses, can those be changed once you put them in, the administration, the site address, or the in
Yes.
WordPress?
Yes, you
They
can.
can
But
be changed?
yeah, if you change this, what's going to happen though is it's going to send that new address a welcome letter saying, "Are you there?" or whatever. If you can't get to it, it'll keep this old one.
Okay.
So right now, if you have this set to something other than something that's a part of your domain,
Mhm.
you're going to have some
Right.
issues. I know some people,
Okay.
Yahoo and all this kind of Hotmail and all that stuff. Those addresses are seen as spam email addresses, and servers sometimes will block it. The thing is, you will never know that you are not getting email because it goes out to Bitbucket heaven.
Ooh,
I mean, you never know. It doesn't hold, it doesn't do anything, just totally gone, obliterated.
okay.
I remember one time I
So,
had one like that. I had a cross domain, like I eat my own name, darnellsmith.com. I had it as a admin for my business in the black. Well, I wasn't getting any emails. Like, what is going on here? And what it was is the other domain wouldn't push it because it looked like I was spamming. I was trying to like hack my own system.
okay.
Any other questions? I ain't going nowhere. You got me here now.
What I was going to say is with the website I started, the problem that I'm having is I'm doing this on a Mac
Yeah.
and so I tried downloading WordPress and it looks like it's not compatible on the Mac.
Well, the bottom line is you don't really download WordPress.
Uh-huh.
You really install it at the server level and you can access it via a web address.
Okay.
If you download it, what are you going to install it to? Because the websites are on the cloud.
Right.
So there is a way that you can install a local server and build your site locally and then upload it live, but that's even beyond me.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have that C panel that you talked about. The menu's all it's quite different with Bluehost, for instance.
Yeah, I can't remember. I work with so many servers, well, actually hosts, and I work with Bluehost too. But most of the time, the site's already built, and I'm fixing it for something.
Yeah, and the issue is for me to log into WordPress, I need to log into Bluehost first. Is there a way to log into WordPress?
Right here, just change that back from your domain. Change it to that WP-admin.
Okay, cool.
You can also do, if I log, let's see, what is this? This is, let me log into this one. If I log out of this one, like log out, notice that WP login is the same. See, WP dash login takes you to the same place.
Yeah.
So I change that to admin. See, same place.
Hmm.
See, most of the time what they'll do is they'll make it so that you log in through the installer. Let's see, I have it. So
Yeah.
I think I closed that window now. But if I go here to like my, let's see, installed application, it might have knocked me out. See that? That's the installed application. I think if I look at the settings, see, I can click it here and that basically takes you to that area with the login included to it. That's why, so you don't have to remember your password and stuff.
Cool.
Let me kill that. Kill all this stuff. All right, any other questions? Yeah, I'm not in a rush, so you can just, whatever you want to know.
I think for me, it's going to just go into my back end and playing with mine, because mine is, I mean, it's similar to this. I just need to, because I have a lot of categories, because mine would deal with restaurants, bars, and
Yeah,
other
oh, yeah.
children. So it's a lot. So
Yeah,
trying to wrap my head around it.
You got a
But
lot
this-
of categories in here, right?
Mhm.
I got tons of categories. You might even have subcategories.
I do, and see, and some of that I want to change, and I couldn't figure it out. So,
No.
but now with this,
Yep, just go to the categories and you can edit a category right there.
mhm.
And what's cool is when you edit a category, the blogs go with it. They know
Okay.
it modifies what they're attached to. So you don't lose, you don't have them like all going back to like uncategorized.
Mhm.
You can also go to the count. If you click the count, it'll show all the, it'll go take you into the posts that are all part of that category. So you can
Say that
find
again.
everything. What's that?
Say that one more time.
If you go to your categories, like under posts and go to categories,
Mhm.
notice you can go to, you can edit the category, but if you go over here to the count, it'll show you, let's say it had 30 of them. You click it, it'll show all these under dog. It'll show you, it'll take you to the posts that only are with the dog category. You see?
Okay. Uh-huh.
You can also do it from here, all posts, you can change it here and then
Mhm.
do a filter, you know.
Okay.
It's just a matter of knowing what the things are and everything else sort of follows suit. Notice pages and posts, they all look alike.
Mhm.
It's just some have extra features than the other. So these are the basics and all the rest is grow off of that. Just like when we were inside of this one and you notice that a product is no more than a post that's in the product category, in the product family. See, they're no different than a post. See, you can add new the same way, add new product, same way, add new. But if you look at one of them, if we say add new product, look what happens. It just has different attributes. See, there's the name, there's the body of the content, but notice that all looks the same, like same way to the product categories, the product tags. But now we have stuff like whether it's virtual or downloadable, whether it's inventoried, whether it's shipping and the attributes. You know, attributes are things like the colors and sizes and all this stuff. A product is a pain in the freaking butt to install, to put in, because let's say you were selling like shoes, right? You think, oh, that's easy. I'll just make a category called shoes, add a product. No, you got to first go add all these attributes like size, color, brand,
Yeah.
male, female, or what sex, so that you have the ability to modify all those things, and they become those little drop downs that where you can select the options. That those are called attributes. It is a pain in the freaking butt.
What a nightmare.
And that's why when I build websites, I will put in the first product, but I ain't putting in no more. I'll show you how to do it, or you can go to Fiverr and have those guys do it. I ain't doing it.
Mhm.
If I do it, I'm doing it $5 a product. I will $5 you to death. And then charge you $35 just because I don't like it. Anyway, any other questions? Like under themes, I'm gonna do this right quick. Like notice that we added those little things. So we can just add a new theme right quick. I say add something sort of, yeah, I don't know. That's like, let's install that one. I don't like the way this is doing this. Update fails, something weird. Oh, I know what's wrong here. See, I actually like doing this because I'm showing you problems in real time. Let me show you what the problem is, I bet you. I go back to the, I'm going back to the server, right? I think I have a problem here. This is under these clients, this client right here, login as a reseller. And I think it's under advanced and it's under outgoing connections. And we want to allow connections. Now let me go back to there. And let's see if I can add another theme. See if it works. How you like that? See, fixed it.
Mhm.
Now, how would I know that? Because I've done 6,000 websites,
Yeah.
number one. But what that is that's trying to tell the system that it's blocking things that are coming from outside its own domain. So what I did was I unblocked and let it pull everything from other stuff. Now I could go and whitelist it and say, you can get things from WordPress.com.org, you can get things, whatever. I just opened it all the way up. Now, the bad thing about this is that somebody could put something on a site, they go get something from a bad place and install it on your website. That's what that one part is for. Okay. But now let's let me do a preview of this one. So that's that theme. We can go look at a different theme. That's a preview of the other theme. Didn't I just install? Let me see. Go back. Oh, that wasn't installed. We got to do a preview of this one. See how it takes your same data?
Mhm.
So we can go home, about, blog. See, it's the same stuff. So it literally uses your pages that you actually have, even the widgets that we have. See those widgets I put on there? And notice that it moved from a footer because this one doesn't have a footer widget. It stuck it on the right side. So it's a way to like look at a theme if you like it or not without actually activating it and publishing it with it. So I can go back, even though it's installed, I can now like uninstall it. I can pick other stuff, you know. If I want something with see like this one right here, it has sidebars on both right and left. If I install it, notice it won't fail anymore. Why'd you prove me wrong? Boy, for an ugly little theme, it takes a minute. Oh, damn. All that for that little ugly theme. Let me live preview it. That little sucker. See, look. See stuff on the right? I mean, on the left and stuff on the right. Now, if I activate that, watch what happens. Let's go to the real website. That was what it used to look like. Let's hit home again. See, now it looks like a total different freaking thing. See that? Blogs are different. Man, that's big. Jesus Christ. But what I like is if we go now and go to widgets, which are under appearance, look how many widgets we have. Now look, a left sidebar, right sidebar, a header, right, navigation bar, left, look at all that stuff. Now we can drag stuff onto the left. You can reuse stuff actually. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll go and put in, I'll open up each one of these things, right? And put stuff in there so that I know what it looks like. Let me drag one in there. Drag one in. here, drag it there, drag it here, and drag it there. And I will name them where they are. And then that way, when I go here, I can say, what does it actually look like? See, look at this stuff. Ugliest site. See, it puts stuff up in the header, in the title area, on the left side, on the right side, underneath the footer. Then you go back and throw them away. And then take a look at it. And it's back to normal. Any questions?
When it comes to applying a theme, you're definitely not going to change just, I mean, all the work that you've done when it comes to the pages, for instance, the
That's
posts.
true, but not true. It's the content will be in there, but it may or may not. The menu might not be there. Everything it'll be in there, but you got to go tell it. Like I would have to go into menus and say, select whatever menu I'm using, and then I'd have to go and find the menu I have and add it to the system, even though it's already created. So that the menu would cross over. But like your widgets, if your system's already set up with nice widgets and you change the theme, you lose all your widgets. But if you go back to the old theme, they'll all come back. It remembers
So
it per theme. What's that?
You have to decide then.
Yeah, and then you can go back and you can literally put them in place. What I do is I'll open up two windows so I remember what's there. Then I go back and move my widgets to where I need them to be like it used to be.
Yeah.
But you don't lose them, they just don't show up on the screen.
Right.
And then sometimes you have like in, I see one of my websites has, let's see, has multiple menus. Let's see, this one has one menu, right? But my digital signage site, I own a digital signage company also, has multiple menus. See, there's menus here, and there's menus here. Well, depending upon the theme, well, hey, you might only have one menu, so then you got to like redo your menu set. Excuse me. I change my website theme about once a year or so or more, depending. I just get tired of looking at it sometimes.
Wow. That's good though. That's good.
Yeah, because you're not losing the content.
Right.
And then sometimes I change the theme. I go, man, I did all this work. I don't even like the way it looks, and I put it back. Any other questions?
Early on, did you say something about duplicating your site or duplicating the pages or something like that? Can you duplicate?
You can duplicate a page and a post if you add a plugin for it. Like on my site, I think I have, let me look at a page. Let me see, let me edit the home page. Let's see, I might have it in here.
Like, if you want to work on on your page or site, work on it, but you save your page and then you work on it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're saying, no, this is what I was talking about. Under pages or posts, if we edit, let's say this page, right? There's another version of it. It saves a backup of it, okay?
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right here. See these things are screen options? This will control what's over here sometimes. So we hit this button. Notice there's custom. See, this doesn't show it. Normally you can turn on where it says, what is it called? Revisions. It'll show revisions here, but I don't see it over here. It's probably a different theme because themes will change what you have available to show over on the sidewall. Let me go to themes. Let me go to original theme that we had, which was, which one was that? Ugly old theme. Oh, is this one, right? Was that the one we had before? That's
yes, 2020. Yeah.
Right. Now let's go back to pages. pick a page. Let's see. I know we modified. What did we modify? We might have, I think we modified this blog post. Nope. Let's see, about us. Did we modify? No, normally it would show up right here. Right here somewhere it would say revision. And I don't see it.
Was it the sample page we changed? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. Was it a page or was it, maybe we've changed posts.
With the dog? Was that
Yeah,
the one?
let's see, let me edit this. Revision, see? So you have to make a change before revision shows up. So we can browse the revisions. So these are the different revisions of our pages. See that? And you can pick the one you want to see, want to save. Maybe say, okay, I want this one or whatever. You say restore it right here. That was before it had anything on it. See, my first post or whatever.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And now the bad thing about these things is, like, if you go to a site like mine, I've been having for years. I think I got so many revisions that I think I downloaded a plugin just so I can get rid of revisions. I had too many. I had like 400 revisions or some crazy thing.
Oh, wow.
Let's
Do they
see.
have a plugin for that?
Yeah. See right here.
For backup?
Yeah. Here's one there's 5 different revisions to the pages. I remember seeing one that thing said I had 130 some revisions. So I had to download a plugin that said, like, sort of clean up the site, and it would go and clean up revisions, you know, all the way back to maybe 5 revisions from the latest one or something. Because all that stuff eats up space. Matter of fact, I'll show you that. So if I go and look at a server, we go to a different type of server. I have multiple servers. I have 250 some servers, but this is a different system I use for bigger sites. Let me see here. My services. I'm going to show you space. Manage. And this will be on a straight cPanel. So we go and load the cPanel. Takes a minute. Any day now. If you're looking at me, I'm cranking the side of my monitor because it's old. Geez, that's taking a while, isn't it?
So for a beginner though, would it would be easier just to do the widget? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, those widgets that you're talking about, like, you mean just to make
For the backup, or?
No, a backup, you would, if you really want to back up your site.
I mean, to not back up, but to make a copy of your site.
Of the whole
that
site?
You're working on, of the page that you're working on.
Oh, yeah, I would install a plugin for that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, plugin.
Yeah, I would go here,
Okay.
go to plugins, install plugin, and say add plugin, and say, I think it's called duplicate. I've installed it before. Duplicate. And see, duplicate post.
Yes.
Duplicate
Yes.
page.
Okay.
And I know once you install it, I'm gonna show you.
It's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's tons of. I always look at the ones got a whole lot of downloads. Like, see, there's thousands of them, right?
Yeah,
Activate
the
that
best.
one.
Like,
Now watch.
okay.
If I go to page, or let's go to a post, any post. Notice right here, duplicate this, and added that feature. If you go to pages, watch this. See, duplicate this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So even if I duplicate it, watch what it does. It takes the same name. And look, it's the same exact name now. Let's edit it. See that? About to. It made the slug correct for the system. So you need to go ahead now and modify this to like about her or something. Then you go and modify the slug right quick and say her. That'll change your
So you
real
can tell
slug.
the difference.
Yeah, that gives you what the real
Yeah.
URL is going to look like.
Okay.
Then you can publish it if you like. And remember, it's not going to show up until you go over here to appearances to your menu and go and add it to the menu. And we can put it under there. We can make it a sub menu if you like. Save that. Go to the website, refresh it, and look. Now we have a drop down under here. See? About her.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
Yep. Thank you.
No problem. Let me see here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. I hid everything, but I don't know how to unhide stuff. Where the heck? Huh. Where in the world? I hid it, but where'd it go? Where'd everything go? To control. That's weird. I hid it all, but I don't know where it is. I can't find. Let me see. Oh, maybe it's this. Nope. What the heck? That's interesting. I don't know what I did, but continue. I'll figure it out. I'll just shut it off. Any other questions?
Not a question, but I want to comment. Thank you for doing this. I mean, you helped a lot.
Oh, no problem. It's what we do. Got to give back.
Yeah, I might be contacting you again, though.
All right, I'll be here. Remember, I work in the mornings, Monday through Thursday, till about. It's supposed to be 3 o'clock, but and then I do like online stuff, but I don't work Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. Now I'll probably send you a message on LinkedIn or something, and then.
Okay.
Yes, I still have some other questions, but not unrelated, about helping the community, like you were talking about, and seeing if we can work together on those things as well.
Okay. Man, I'm like lost here. I don't know how. What you hide is still word in the world. It's like not even there anymore. Well, when you hide the stuff, you really hide it, don't you? I mean, there's no. I'm like putting my mouse everywhere. I don't see anywhere to bring it back. There's no. I really don't know how to go back to it. That is weird. Won't be doing that no more. Because I don't know how to, because, normally you put your mouse up and it slide down, or you can bring it back, whatever. I don't know what happened. But hey, we're still connected.
That's true.
I guess I could log back into the meeting, right? Let me say, if I signed in, dang, it doesn't even know that I'm actually signed in. Look at that.
Wow.
That is, what the heck is going on? Let me see. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Oh, it knows something here. Look at that. Let me not do that. I don't know how this is working. Oh, shoot. I don't want to do that. What's this do? I literally can't get back.
Wow.
I mean, you're looking right at it, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
Interesting bug.
Yeah, I think this is literally a bug. I really can't. This is weird. I'll edit the video. I'll pull all that stuff out of there, though. That's being saved. So anyway, anything else?
When would the
Now,
video be?
for the video, do we go to YouTube? Is that what you said?
I'm going to put it back here. You notice where it's in Meetup, in the Meetup thing?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yes.
I'll edit this and put the video right in the Meetup, in the description.
Okay, great.
It'll be in the,
okay.
it'll be in here. And then I'll put it, and it'll be on YouTube though. So every time I make a Meetup group, an event, I go back and bring the video and put it back in for people
Okay.
who couldn't make it. Now, see,
Mhm.
I made this group for Pennsylvania, right? But this is my other group that I, from Texas. Now, there's like
Mhm.
almost 800 students in there.
Wow.
But you know what I didn't want to do? I gave everything over to Eric, but he was one of my students and he took over, but he's
Ah.
real busy or whatever, and he really can't do that. So sometime I'll go do a meeting over there for him. And so he's still got Dover on there, which should be like Texas,
Mhm.
because I just gave it to him. And you see, if you look at all the, let me see, events. I did bazillions of events. Let me see. They go back for years. I don't know where I can even get to them. Sometimes I'll go back to these and get some of the videos out of them. I wonder why they don't work. Oh, here we go. Past. There we go. So there's tons of them. You can go here and I see right there is Roku channels and way back at I did this way
We
back.
have access to those?
Well, it's just this. I'll put the link in here.
Okay.
It's basically just another. If you go to right here, Fire Your Webmaster. That's the group, Fire Your Webmaster.
Ah, okay.
Now, if you want to find it, it's fire_your_webmaster. That's where it really is.
Okay.
Then go back to the events and go to past events, and they just go on and on and on. I did these things for years. They'll just keep on coming, and it's just that was a big one. When it gets up to the 20-something people, that's starting to get unruly.
Mhm.
If everybody starts
Yeah, it's
asking
like a lot.
questions. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I've had them up to like, I think I had 401, and I was like, you know what? This ain't working. There's no way you can answer the questions.
Yeah.
Anyway, so remember that fire_your_webmaster. You can find a whole bunch of stuff. That's my big head right there. Yeah. That's when we were, I went to places to do them. And you know what's real funny? Now this will wipe you out. The computer I'm using right now is a $2,100 gaming laptop. It's powerful as hell.
Wow.
I did this class, right? Let's see. I forget. I don't know where it is, but it's the very last class I did while in Texas. And this system's hard drive literally crashed, and it was a solid state hard drive. It died while in the event.
Wow.
But guess what? I always carried 2 laptops. Whipped out another one. Boom, back on.
Mm.
But it literally died. I went home and I literally lost everything on that hard drive because it literally was, it like burned up. But I had backed it up like maybe 3 months ahead before. I lost 3 months worth of stuff.
Jeez.
Yep. Man, who in the world kills a solid state drive?
I guess the answer is you.
Yeah, me. Yeah, ain't that a trip? There's no moving parts.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me kill. I wanted to show you this, but look, it's not showing all the. Oh, Ajax failed. That's why. There we go. See that right there? That's like the server that you're using. Notice how it has an infinity sign right there. So once people will say, oh, you have unlimited space, unlimited this, unlimited, these are all unlimited things right here. Well, if your files increase by too many, it doesn't matter what this says because you have too many files, you just ran out of space.
Mm.
This is why I told you that thing where it makes all them different images. That's why it's difficult. Like if I go and look at the, matter of fact, I don't know if you know what FTP is, but This is, I'm going to log into the system via FTP, which is, let's see, which website am I looking at? That's Digital Advertising Media. This right here is the file structure for WordPress right there.
Oh.
All right, so in web content, there's the plugins, right? Well, there's, let me see here. Let me see, let me go up from, all right, it's under content and under uploads. And see how it uploads stuff by the order of the year. So let's go into like this last year. Then these are the months in the year. So let's go to the 4th month in the year. And look, these are all the images. And look at this. One image. Wow. Look at the name of that image right there. Right there, 129. Look, look at all these 129s.
Oh,
all
wow.
These, whoa, what happened? All these images right here are of the same image. See, wow. And look, here are the sizes of those. See that? And then look at the file size. See, they're just incrementing by all this space. So every image you put makes, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 versions of itself. Wow. So it keeps the original version right there and makes all these mini versions of itself. And when I say delete the image, it only removes this image and leaves all these on the server.
Yeah.
So now think about if you had a website for a few years, uploading pictures and taking pictures down and blah, blah, blah. And then you get stuff like this. Look where I'm getting close to my limit here.
Yeah.
If I get too far out, I'm losing what, 70, almost what, 71% worth of my, if I get to the edge, my website literally will come up and say, it's down for, it'll say it like can't be found or whatever what a website does when it breaks. Like
I think I'm gonna be worried. I'm gonna be worried about that. I'm gonna be worried about that because the restaurants upload a lot of pictures of their specials and stuff like that. So
yep. Well, here's what you do: go into your server and go to File Manager, and then go over here where it says Public HTML. The public HTML is where your root of your main website is. All right. Notice there's WP admin content. So we go to content, go to uploads, go to pictures, and then that's folder, and then there they are. See? So if you really wanted to, get space back, if you delete something, you have to go back here and kill it, or you try to find yourself a plugin that would go and kill those parasite images. And I did find one before that does that, but it's not 100%. It'll go through, and sometimes you might lose an image or something. You'll see the big red X. It pulled an image that it shouldn't have. Which is sort of pissing because you might not know what the image is.
Yeah, that'd be difficult.
Yep. Now the other thing is, before I let you guys go, notice how I said that, let you guys go. That's like a soft way to say get out of here. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, see this right here? This is the true server area. Let me do it through an FTP. If I do it through FTP of that, see these files right here. The real true way to make it so hackers can't get to your stuff is to modify this permissions area of the files. This one is one of them. This hash file, people can take over your system with these. So you want to make sure it's at a 644 because that means you can read it, but you can't write to it. These have a read-write command to them, but these you can't. That's why they're set to a very specific area so hackers can't get to these. I think even when I go into content, if I go to uploads where images are, notice what they are. You can read them. Because that way people can't get into your website and modify one of these bad boys, and all of a sudden you got images of, you know, of stuff that get you in prison, put you in prison.
So you set those those numbers yourself?
No, my
Up to
server
that.
knows how to handle WordPress. So when I install WordPress, it handled all that stuff for me. Most servers, when they run their scripts for auto install, they're supposed to set this, you know, security for you, but I've found it where it wasn't. And that's a little doorway in, you know, a little way for creatures to slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a standard cPanel right here, a regular true cPanel. That's because it's called cPanel. That's literally a real product. But you'll hear all people, oh, let's go to your cPanel. Well, they might not be using cPanel. They might be using some other
like
kind.
SiteGround. SiteGround, I don't think they have a cPanel.
Yeah, you see, they might all have something different. And see, if you look at one of mine, mine does not use a standard cPanel. If I use under that client, see, that's my control panel. See, if I want to like change my email boxes and whatever, it's just much better handler to me. I use cPanels also though, but like see the file manager, see it looks totally different. You see, I go to what was it? What website did she? Was it this one? You know what's weird? You know, I'm looking here and I'm noticing that error here, which is weird. It shouldn't have this capability. Let me look at this once. This is like a side thing. There should not be. She doesn't own this domain. So it's weird that it's in here. See if I can see it. Let me see. See? It's somebody else. There's something
What happened there?
I don't know what's going on with that. Because she doesn't know, you know, she doesn't know anything about this kind of stuff. So anyway, but like I say, see, there's just a different kind of cPanel. See, it shows your storage, CPU limit, all that stuff. It's easier to look at. Now, if I want to upgrade stuff, or they want to upgrade stuff, they can upgrade by here. They can pick, you know, whatever they want to increase, and the prices will follow suit. Anyway, but this is what most of the time is what you're going to see. And this is old as hell.
Yeah.
You can't even tell. I mean, it doesn't even, I think if I change the size of the screen, see, it won't get small.
So outdated.
It is so old. Anyway, any other questions? Let me see if mine gets small. It better make me look bad. Yeah, see, it went into look at that, went into tablet mode. Let's see if it even gets smaller yet. Yeah. Why in the world would you use a thing that size? That becomes something you use on your phone. That's the responsiveness base. That word, you ever heard of that word? Called responsive. Yeah, that's what, notice how it literally modifies the site. It just doesn't make things tiny. So a responsive website literally is coding. It literally changed the menu into a drop down and all that stuff. It literally changed the coding.
I think mine is like that.
Yep. So you definitely see right here where the transition happens. Boom. See that? So you definitely want a responsive website. Now, once your site's responsive, there's no need to ever have an app. An app is worthless to me. It's just another website. that you have to maintain.
So there's no advantage. I mean, I know that. So like they have apps in the app stores and stuff like that. So that, okay.
Yeah, I used to write apps, but since everything went responsive, you can literally make an icon on your screen that says save to your phone, and it'll produce a shortcut on the phone. And then when they click it, it basically takes them to the website, but in the mobile mode because it's responsive. So there's no need for a app.
Yeah.
So that way,
when it's responsive, it shows up like on a desktop, a tablet, a phone, all the same, right?
no, it literally modifies itself for those modes. Notice
Right.
Look
exactly.
at this. It's the same content, but you remember before I showed you that one of my themes said, this is the menu for a mobile phone. You literally can change it so the menu changes. So in this case, that's what they did. If you notice here, if I notice what the menu looks like, right? All this crap up here. Watch this. It literally removes it and changes it to icons and drop downs, and it literally recoded the website. You see?
Yeah.
So that's why responsive is literally a real thing. So if somebody says
you want,
you definitely want to have it, you want to test it. All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, my butt's hurting now.
Well, thank you so much. When's the next one?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I have to.
Okay.
I got to.
It'll be posted.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be posted.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I really appreciate this help.
Hey, no problem.
Yes.
You can always
Thank you
email
so
me
much.
or text me anytime. I'll answer when it can.
Thank you so much.
Just don't do it real late.
Okay.
All right.
All right, sounds
Have a
good.
good
All
night.
right.
All right.
You
You
too.
too.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good
Nice
night.
meeting you all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Good night.
How can I get out? Let me see. How did I get out? Let me see.
You're stuck with us.
Can't do it that way. I literally can't get out.
At the bottom, can you is there you have a red button to say leave?
No, but remember it came up before though?
Yeah.
Let me see. How did I do that?
You're gonna have to open up control the processes and just quit it.
I know.
Yeah.
I hate doing that because I don't know what it's going to do to the video that's being stored.
Oh wow! Right.
You know what?
You just can't hit the X. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You are a smart cookie there. All right. Well, I'm leaving now.
All right. All right. See you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.